Are you a writer?
No.
What are you doing?
Excuse me. Should you be talking to strangers?
Strangers? We've been trapped on board with these people for almost 2 weeks. Don't you feel like you've known each and every one of us your whole life?
No.
I do. And the rain, I've been trapped in a cabin with my aunt and my cousin for 3 days. I could jump overboard.
How dramatic.
How do you keep from being bored?
I work.
What do you do?
I'm a banker.
You loan people money?
Where is your aunt?
I don't know. And I don't care. I hate work.
You have to earn your keep.
I won't have to. I'm going to marry a rich man who will take care of me.
And if you don't?
I'll be a writer. I'm very good at stories. I've imagined a story for nearly every person on deck. Would you like to hear one?
Do I have a choice?
See the woman over there with the funny hat and the shoes that don't fit?
Yes.
The man to her left with the spectacle is a rich suitor. She's been tempting him the whole trip. He wants her to marry him, but she doesn't love him. She's in love with the bald man with his back to us. I've seen her pass notes to him every day. They've been lovers for years. It's so obvious, you'd think the man with the spectacle would realize, but he's a fool, so he doesn't. She marries one of these rich old fools once every 5 years. Slowly, she poisons them with arsenic. When the old man croaks, she sends for her bald lover and meets him on a boat, like this one, bound for Asia, or Europe, or maybe South America. They travel for a while together, reaping the benefits of their merciless endeavor. Then, en route back to the United States, they find another one of these bumbling idiots, like the man with the spectacle, and the wicked cycle starts all over again.
And your reasoning?
The man with the spectacle is obviously a fool. Have you spoken to him? The woman is obviously a temptress. That's why she wears those ridiculous hats and shoes that don't fit. And the bald man is obviously her lover. That's why he's constantly at her disposal. And she passes notes to him night and day.
The bald man is a steward on this ship. He takes dinner orders. The woman is a wealthy heiress prone to wearing eccentric clothing, and the fool is a fool trying to convince her to invest in his business.
How do you know that?
I've had dinner with them 3 times.
But isn't my story more interesting?
Yes, but only because they are so boring, and your story isn't remotely believable.
Why not?
Because that woman isn't remotely enticing, and she'd have to be to lure money away from rich old fools.
Enticing? Is that what you have to be?
Yes.
And if you're not?
Well, some people have to work to earn their keep.
Some people have to tutor their cousins in art and history, and read to their aunt, and get her shawl whenever she asks. And when you do something she doesn't like, you apologize. And when she threatens to leave you at home on her next trip, you cry and plead because you know being left at home is worse than being with her.
Not such a bad job, is it?
It might be if that's all you could do.
I have to go to work every day and count money and sign loans, or not sign loans and refuse people money that they may have needed. But you couldn't, in good conscience, let them have. Maybe they needed it because a baby was on the way, or their mother was ill, or they couldn't find work. Those are not easy decisions.
You do all that?
Sometimes.
I would like to do that. I would give them the money if they needed it.
And that's why little girls don't work in banks.
Little girl! Huh, that's why they study art and visit Europe with their aunts and wear gloves to parties.
Yes. Sometimes I give them the money.
I knew you did.
I make them pay it back.
Of course, so you can loan it to other people.
Yes. Sometimes.
I thought you had a kind of face. An imaginative face. That's why I thought you were a writer. You looked as though you understood people. Don't you ever imagine stories?
My job in the bank is so much more interesting.
Tell me a story.
I don't tell stories.
Everyone tells stories.
Not me.
Not ever.
No.
Never to a son or daughter.
I don't have any children.
Never to a niece or nephew.
I don't have any family.
Never to a lover.
You're too young to be talking about lovers.
Oh, I'm not. I have to know all about them to be a writer.
Well, then you're too young to be talking about them to me.
Then say something. Anything.
The man and the woman behind us, the two sketching. Don't look.
Yes.
They're world-famous artists. They're married, but they're traveling together as brother and sister.
Why?
Because they don't like to have attention drawn to themselves. They choose their subjects from ordinary people. If people knew they were famous artists, they would behave differently in front of them, and none of their art would be real.
How do you know?
I had dinner with them last night.
And they told you all this?
I have an honest face. They thought they could trust me. And I believe they already finished sketching me.
Are you going to be in a painting?
Probably not. But I was a useful exercise in the human form. But you never know. They could choose anyone as the subject of their next masterpiece.
Anyone?
Anyone.
How would you know if they used you in a painting?
You wouldn't? Unless you asked.
I'm not going to ask.
Why not? What's the harm?
I'm not going to ask because you're not telling the truth.
I wouldn't lie.
But you would tell a story.
I don't tell stories.
You would never tell me to go over to them and ask if I was to be in their next painting if they were really artists.
Didn't you learn something about telling a story?
I knew it was a story.
But you believed me until the end.
I didn't.
The trick is not to make the story too outrageous or ridiculous.
How do you know about stories if you don't tell them?
I used to tell stories.
When?
That was a very long time ago.
Who did you tell stories to?
A woman I used to know.
Your wife?
No.
Your lover?
How old are you?
Why?
You shouldn't be discussing people's lovers. Why don't you have another try?
Was she your mistress?
I meant, why don't you tell another story?
I know what you meant. What kind?
Tell me one that I'll believe.
That's an awful lot of pressure.
I have faith in you.
Who would you like me to tell a story about?
Anyone?
Anyone on deck.
You.
Me? I'm 16. I'm traveling with my aunt and my cousin Amy. We've been abroad for the summer. My aunt took us to Europe for a bit of culture. In my aunt's view, the trip was a miserable failure. She hired a third-rate governess to tutor us in French and take us to museums. The governess ran off with our cook.
Was he handsome?
No, he was hideous. It wasn't romantic. She was a shrew. He had a bit of money saved. I heard them discussing it in the garden one night. That's the only reason she went off with him.
Not the least bit exciting.
It was sad. She didn't love him. When she left, she pulled me aside and said, "Learn how to fend for yourself. Work if you have to, but it's easier if you find someone to do it for you."
Not very romantic.
No, I'd never marry for money. My aunt was forced to be chaperone. She has gout and couldn't keep up with us. Amy and I smoked our first cigarette in the gardens at Versailles. Does that shock you?
No.
The gardens are lovely. My aunt's gout got the worst of her, and we had to stay penned in the hotel room. She tried to occupy us. Amy is 18, and my aunt had wealthy suitors visit almost every day. One was an Italian nobleman. He fell in love with me. He visited every day and passed me notes. The trip ended abruptly when my aunt discovered us. She was very angry.
Because you're too young.
No, she doesn't care about me. I have no money. She doesn't want me to marry well. She doesn't want me to marry at all. She wants me to take care of her in her old age.
You've read too many romantic novels.
It's all true.
I believe the first part. The second part is stolen.
He's followed me on board. He's so in love with me, he's following me back to America. He wants to elope. He's been watching us this whole time. See him? The handsome, dark man with a wide brim hat. He thinks he's being inconspicuous. Quit staring. I only decided to speak with you because I saw him coming over and I thought he might try to kiss me. We'd be discovered.
Now, you're being outrageous.
It's a good story.
Oh, yes. Very good for you.
You halfway believed me.
Until it became ridiculous.
It was more exciting than your story.
Yes, but you believed me.
Only for a moment.
Your story would have been more believable if the nobleman hadn't been rich.
No?
Or maybe not a nobleman at all.
No.
No. A common. And your wealthy aunt threatened to cut you off if you married her.
That's not a very happy story.
No. But maybe closer to the truth.
But what if her money really was mine? At least some of it. And what if I just couldn't get to it?
You'd be in a pinch.
But what if there was someone to help me?
You have a fine imagination.
And what if that person was the man who controlled that money and all he had to do was help me just a little?
If only things were so simple.
Did you tell the woman stories?
Oh, yes.
Were they believable?
They were hopeful.
say she had an aunt who didn't approve.
What if someone could have helped her,
I would have been very happy.
and you would have paid every penny back?
Yes.
I believe it.
It was a tie.
I should get some kind of handicap because of my heels.
I've got 5 cantaloupes up in here.
Fine. It's a tie.
It's my turn to go first.
Who's stopping you?
Alright. Last night I fed the ducks. I bought an Italian sausage. I was in bed by 10.
Let's see. Never could resist the duckies. You fed the ducks. Truth. You bought the sausage. Truth. The lie is that you are in bed by 10.
I'm a vegetarian. Why would I buy a sausage?
Maybe so you can throw me off.
You think I buy a sausage because of a stupid game?
You weren't in bed by 10. That's a lie. I ran into your brother uptown, and he said you crashed at his place. You stayed up all night playing Call of Duty.
Foul! That's insider information.
Well, all I was supposed to do was spot the lie, which I did. 1 point for me. He says he wishes we get back together.
He's just scared I'm gonna leave some kind of permanent imprint on his designer couch.
Yeah, well, if you don't get smarter, you're gonna leave some permanent imprint on this designer couch again. My turn. 1, in high school, I gave my boyfriend mononucleosis. 2, I just got a tattoo. 3, I've never been kissed in an elevator.
You kissed me in an elevator.
No, I never kissed you in an elevator.
On the way down. On the first night we met. Claire.
Well, if I did, it was some kind of pecky, accidental thing. I'm talking about passionate, focused, making out.
There was tongue.
There was your imagination. I have never kissed you or anyone else in an elevator, okay? There. Gave you a freaky truth. So which one's the lie? The tattoo? Or did I give my boyfriend one?
You hate needles. There's no tattoo.
Oh, no step for you, buddy boy. What kind of girl do you think I am? You think I gave my boyfriend mono? No wonder we broke up. You always expected worse from me. Like that night when you came back home from work and all the furniture was piled by the door.
All my furniture. Anybody would have been suspicious.
I never should have got you that piano. It takes up half the living room.
I love that piano. Well, especially when I would play and you would lie naked underneath and tell me how the vibrations of the strings.
Your turn.
So, where is it?
What?
The tattoo.
Oh. Someplace private. Kind of southeast.
Today I helped the guy push his smoking car out of the road. I accidentally lit my shoe on fire, and I masturbated while
Oh my
listening
god, do I have to listen to this?
to No Censorship. Your rule. I masturbated while listening to Wagner's Ride of the Valkyries.
You helped push the guy's car over the road. Truth. Oh, that I'm sure is true. You didn't light your shoe on fire.
I could have.
Obviously. But you didn't.
Oh, you cannot take that step. It's against the rules to proceed until I tell you that you're right. Don't you see how presumptuous you are?
Well,
Now you can take your step.
I'm interviewing for a job in LA. I'm wearing a thong. And I speak French.
You don't speak French.
Oh, I have mysteries. Things you don't know anything about.
I lived with you for 5 years.
Oh mon Dieu. Je parle français. Je parle très bien français.
Did you listen to tapes or something?
I took 3 years in college. Even studied in France for a month.
How could I not know that?
Maybe I was just withholding it all this time so I could take this one single step.
That would be insane.
Possibly. But one more step. And the apartment's mine, and you are back in River's couch.
You hate LA. It's got earthquakes, and riots, mudslides. Your hair get frizzy.
I didn't interview for the job in LA. That's the lie.
Look, Claire, why don't we both stay here tonight? You won't even know I'm there. I got a package of peanut butter crackers. I'll just munch on them quietly and sag out on the couch.
But we both know how that always ends up.
Yeah, last time in the bathtub. You wearing a thong?
Oh, let's stay focused.
Claire, look, we have got to come up with a better way to figure out who's going to stay in the apartment rather than race each other home and play this insane game if there's a tie. I almost got hit by a bus trying to beat you here today.
Give up the apartment then.
Why don't we each take it for 3 days? Something normal.
No, where's the sport in that?
Can't we just stop with the games?
Oh, you're the one that dared me to go up in that elevator the first day we met.
Ah, so you do remember that kiss.
No, I remember the elevator and thinking that there was no music, and then thinking that I couldn't even remember being in an elevator that had music.
That's what you were thinking?
I'm afraid of heights, that's what I do. Think things like that.
Well, don't feel bad. I'm afraid of doves.
That's exactly what you said. And then we were laughing, and then when the elevator started moving, I remember thinking that even if this elevator should shoot through the roof, I won't care.
But your hand was shaking when you pulled the knob of that elevator to stop it so you could kiss me.
Oh, I was.
And when the elevator started going, going down again, it was like my knees and my stomach. It's almost like now I think that's how I should always feel after I kiss somebody.
I think you should take it to him. It's gonna get dark soon. You should.
One, when I was a kid, I tried to get in the Guinness Book of World Records by eating pennies. 2, my boss yelled at me today. 3. I'm still in love with you.
Fuck you, Danny! That's against the rules!
No censorship. Your rule.
You never ate any pennies!
Half a roll. Which one's a lie, Claire?
You won the point.
But don't you want to know the truth?
You won, just take your step.
But don't you want to know whether my boss yelled at me today or if I'm still in love with you? I mean, which one seems more likely? The loving or the yelling?
Take your step.
Which one? The yelling or the loving? The yelling or the loving?
This morning I had a temperature. I stepped on a piece of chewing gum in the subway. When I was little, my cousin Billy held me down and I let it break my arm rather than say uncle.
Oh God, Claire, that's the saddest thing I ever heard.
That's the lie.
Okay, Claire, you're a competitor, right? Which is the lie? The loving or the yelling? Guess correctly, and the whole apartment is yours. Bay windows, moldy shower curtain, piano, cat, everything.
What are you saying?
Guess correctly, the apartment is all yours. Forever.
This is not how you play.
Come on. Neither one of us will ever have to wait around the corner of that building to see when other one's coming so we can make it a tie. And you know how many times I've seen your purse sticking out from the corner of that building.
I'm not.
Don't you think it's a coincidence how often we tie? And then we gotta go through this game. I mean, it's like foreplay. You tell me about your tattoo, your little thong. We might as well be ripping each other's clothes off.
Oh, I'm just fighting for a warm place to sleep.
You're telling me that you never, ever waited around the corner of that building to see when I'm coming so you could flirt with, be close to me.
And for schmoozing?
This is your last chance, Claire. I'm not playing around now. Do you understand? You mean to tell me you've never waited around the corner of that building to see when I'm coming? That's your final answer then? Alright, let's finish the game with a whole enchilada. Which is the lie? The yelling or the loving? No more waiting out here on cold nights. No more crashing on friends' couches. And no more racing home from work dragging groceries in the rain.
You are breaking the rules!
With a whole apartment, you can end it right here, right now.
Look, let's just finish this game the way we always do.
Come on, Claire. Which is it?
You know what? You can have the apartment, okay? I'll just stay over it.
Oh, come on, Claire. Which is it? It's your fucking game. Now play.
The lie is that you are still in love with me. There! What?
Bullseye.
What are you?
Guess you got me. Look, I've got tomorrow morning off. I'll come by then and get my stuff.
Where are you going?
You won.
You forgot your groceries.
You keep that too. That way, you'll have everything. It's dark in here.
I'm sorry.
No. I know it's not your fault.
I'm afraid those lights are not very bright.
I guess. What does it matter now? Who cares? Really?
We don't want to cause you any undue suffering. If it's too dark in here, I can send one of the attendants to change out the light bulbs.
Any undue suffering?
That's right.
Is this where I'll be?
That's right.
Will you be outside
Yes,
the entire time?
the entire time.
Is it boring?
I'm sorry?
Is it boring, having to wait outside all the time?
It's my job. It's what I do.
Of course. Will I get anything to eat or drink?
We're not set up for something like that. We don't have what you call a kitchen. However, we can send out for things. Little things. Cold food,
I understand.
soft drinks.
Beer?
I'm afraid not.
Not even on special occasions like my birthday?
Well, maybe if it's your birthday.
Great. Thanks.
Do you have any more questions before we start? Because if you do, that's okay. It's okay to ask as many questions as you need. And that's what I'm here for. It's my job. It's what I do. So please, ask. And don't worry about the time. We've got a lot of
I
time.
don't have any questions!
Are you sure?
There's not much I really have to know, is there? Really?
No. I just thought...
It's okay. I appreciate it. I guess I just really want to sit. Okay. I'm sitting.
Is it comfortable?
Does it matter? Does it really fucking matter?
No. I guess not.
Hey, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I know it's not your fault. I know you didn't mean it. I'm sorry.
It's alright.
Wait. What's your name, anyway? Do you have a name?
No. It's not allowed.
Really? Not allowed. Who says?
The rules say,
Have you actually seen these rules? Are they in writing?
oh yes, there's quite an extensive training course.
There is.
Oh yes, quite rigorous.
Imagine that.
You have to be a little bit of everything. Confidant, confessor, friend, stern taskmaster, guide.
I guess that would take time.
My mentors were all quite strong and capable. They pushed me. I was grateful. I didn't mind the hard work and sleepless nights.
Oh. You sleep?
When I can.
Do you dream?
No. It's not allowed.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. Get used to it.
I know I went years and years without being able to remember one single dream I had. Really scared the shit out of me when I was 10.
I know.
I'm sorry.
No. I said I know. I know that story. The one when you were 10?
Oh. Yeah. Guess you would know everything. Every story.
It's a part of the training.
I figured.
Have you ever operated a reel-to-reel tape
No, I haven't.
before?
I mean, no.
It's not that hard.
Wow, Till 6 were pretty obsolete by the time I was able to afford stereo equipment. I got CDs and later vinyls, but never one of these jobbies.
It's not that hard. On, off, play, pause, and rewind.
Rewind.
Sometimes the quality of the recording is so bad, you want to go back to make sure you catch it all.
No fast forward.
No.
It looks like a pretty good one. Sturdy. Very strong.
They get a lot of use.
I bet. Is this the only tape?
No,
I didn't think so.
there are many more.
How many?
10,000.
10,000?
That's right.
Did it really? Did it really lie that much?
That's right.
So, everyone goes into a room like this?
Just like this. There's no differentiation. Everyone is equal.
For once!
What isn't equal, of course, is the amount of time you spend here listening.
Oh God.
Listening word by word to every lie you ever said while you were alive. Every ugly lie, every betrayal, every time you lied to yourself. Deep inside your mind, we were listening. We were recording. And it's in all of these tapes. 10,000 boxes of them. So the amount of time varies. The amount of time you spend here together.
I'm sorry!
It's too late.
I said I'm sorry! I said I'm sorry! I said it a million times! What happened to forgiveness? I don't want this! I don't want to be here! I don't want to hear myself! I didn't mean to say the things I said! I don't want to listen!
Well, neither did we. Neither did we.
Wait! I'm sorry!
Where have you been? Do you know I've been looking all over? Jesus, I went to Manny's. I went to the pharmacy, the school. I even called the police. Look at me, Jesus, I'm shaking. Now look at me and tell me where the hell you were. Tell me right now.
Do you have a shovel?
Why?
I want to borrow it. I want to borrow you and your shovel.
For what?
Dig in with the shovel.
You'll have to be more specific.
If I tell you any more, it'll ruin the surprise.
Surprise!
Yes.
You got another one?
I do!
You want me to go?
We might need one more person, but yes, absolutely, I'd like you to go.
Oh, you need me.
And a shovel.
Oh, what is it?
You enjoyed the last one.
Sure. I mean, I feel a little guilty, but yeah, I enjoyed it.
Because the reaction on his face.
Yeah, and that sound. Oh, God, that was funny.
You never saw it coming.
Never saw it coming.
This one's better.
Yeah.
Sharper in focus.
Hell, man.
Okay. Like last time.
I'm sworn to secrecy. I know.
Alright. Here it is. I want to go to the cemetery and dig up a body and put it on somebody's doorstep and ring the bell and run away.
Huh? Why would you want to do that?
Same reason we did the last one.
The last one was for kids. For fun.
Right, same thing.
Not really.
No,
No, not really.
I see them as the same.
Why do you want to do this?
Because it doesn't matter.
I don't think I follow.
I just want to do this, so I will.
For revenge or something?
No, I don't think so.
Hey, is it out of height?
Maybe.
Evil?
I hope not, but I'll allow for that possibility.
You will.
I'm not exactly an innocent.
You want to dig up a random body, put it on somebody's doorstep, and you'll allow for the possibility that it might appear evil?
What can I say? People judge. And it's not a random body.
What's that?
This is all very specific.
Oh,
I think you know.
I think I don't.
Mr. Campbell!
Oh God, Mr. Payable, that was just recently.
11:30.
He drowned
Wow.
in a fishing accident. He was what, not even 40? I mean, his kids.
Thomas Jr. and Julie, ages 12 and 9.
Mrs. Campbell went on our field trips.
Actually, that will help. When she opens the door, we'll be able to read the look on her face and compare it to when she was driving the van to the Science Museum.
Well, she just must be just a wreck. All of them.
I know. It'll be great.
I don't think I can do that.
Why's that?
Well, believe it or not, I'm a little reluctant.
Because
Because it's really fucking evil.
this is no different from the other ones.
Well, of course it's different from the other ones.
Why?
Why? What do you mean why? There's a big obvious fucking difference.
Don't get all excited. Explain the difference. I don't see the difference.
How about the other ones didn't require us to dig up the remains of human beings?
This is no different than taking out the trash.
You're kidding, right?
We bury cereal boxes and old mattresses in landfills. Nobody has a hissy fit when people turn that into art.
Art?
You've seen those modern sculptures made out of
You consider this art?
Yes!
Putting a body on a doorstep and running away. That's art.
Of a sort.
You consider the other things we've done art?
Not all of them. Some were better than others, but generally, yes, they were all works of art.
I don't see that.
You just don't appreciate it yet.
Yeah.
I'd like to think you're learning.
Oh, is that why you bring me along? To teach me.
And I'm hoping you have a shovel.
I don't think I want to go.
Because you're insulted?
I'm not insulted.
Then why?
This will hurt somebody.
We're not throwing the body out there.
This will do damage to somebody. Maybe Mrs. Campbell. We definitely, the kids, if they, oh God, the kids, if they saw that.
Maybe you're concerned for yourself.
Maybe. Maybe this will do damage to me. Maybe this is a bad thing for me to do. And for you.
I've decided it's not.
Well, fine. Maybe I'll decide you do this by yourself.
You can do that. It doesn't matter.
What does that mean?
If I get caught, they'll assume you did it with me.
Now, why would they do that?
You did the other ones.
Are you threatening me?
Do you feel threatened?
Yes.
Interesting.
You don't know. If you got caught, you clear me.
I would,
Yes, you would.
because I'm honorable?
What I did before was not this.
Words it might as well have been.
But it wasn't.
Chance!
No. It was my decision. I judged each one individually.
And went along with all of them.
Yes.
And it didn't take me that long to decide if I remember right.
Fine. Tonight's no different. I've decided quickly and I've decided not to go.
And your reason being?
I'm not prepared to set this precedent.
Really?
Really?
You are not prepared to set this precedent. Is that what you said?
Yes.
I just want to get it right.
You know this, you know this.
I am thinking about what you said. Okay. You are not prepared to set this precedent. I have a response.
Do you?
Here is my response. Bullshit!
That's your response.
Precedent implies a pattern of progression. First this, then that. First sugar, cereal, then crack.
Okay. That is not what I'm talking about.
That's what you're worried about. That tonight might actually go well. That you'll enjoy yourself. That you want to do it or something like it again. There are no patterns. There are events. If they're repeated, it's by choice. But you choose every time. Every time a new and different choice. If you think your previous choices have any effect on anything, then I'm sorry to say, you're an arrogant prick.
Oh, I'm an arrogant prick.
That is if you subscribe.
I'm an arrogant prick. Is that what you said?
Yes, but
I'm just trying to get it right.
that is if you believe.
I'm thinking about what you said. Alright. I'm an arrogant prick. I got a response.
Do you?
Here it is. You're an asshole.
You think somebody sets out and marries 6 women in a row who all remind of his mother? No. It's only after the fact, after a guy is dead or in jail, that someone else can look back on it and think, on the whole, that was pretty creepy.
Well, if it's all the same as you said, then I'll just stay here tonight. Thank you for the invitation. No, thank you.
So, you're drawing a line.
Yes, sorry, grave robbing is apparently my line.
No, that's fine. I understand. I sympathize.
You sympathize.
It's not for everybody.
It's not for anybody.
No, Annie. Body. Just Arthur Campbell!
What do you have against them?
Campbell's nothing. I've never met them.
Then why?
Because it doesn't matter. I can. It has occurred to me. It is possible. And I want to do it.
And you see no repercussions?
What's the point of that?
Some thoughts should not be acted upon.
Sorry. I thought we were on the same page. I was wrong.
What did you think?
It doesn't matter. I misjudged. I apologize for getting into this with you. Good luck.
What did you think? Wait. What did you think I'd say?
No, it's not your fault.
Tell me.
It's just that I thought you were already past this. This pretend morality, this ceiling, I was wrong.
You mean some thoughts should not be acted upon?
I thought you were past that.
Well, who is past that? That's conscience.
Yeah, see, I thought you were over that.
Conscience?
Yes.
You thought I was over my conscience.
Well, yes.
You're over yours?
Definitely.
Got no use for it.
Wouldn't know where to find it if I did.
Huh. So there's nothing that stops you from doing things.
I'm supposed to limit myself?
From some things?
I do what I want.
What about others?
You mean like others with a capital O?
Your responsibility to others.
That's not my bad.
What's not your bad?
I assume they're talking about their well-being.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not my bad. I don't wish others were well. I don't wish others be anything.
That's apathy.
Apathy is nothing. Nothing is not wrong.
Putting the dead body of a loved one on a grieving family's doorstep is not nothing.
What have I done? I've moved something. I've shifted a thing. I've rearranged furniture.
No!
I'm not killing him.
You're causing him pain. Ah!
There. I just caused you pain. I reached out, touched you, made you hurt. I'm not doing that to the Campbells.
There are different kinds of pain.
No, there aren't.
It's wrong.
According to you.
According to the laws of decency.
Oh, please. You did the other ones.
Yeah?
Why?
Why did I do the other ones?
Yes.
I guess I didn't see the harm.
But some of them certainly broke the laws of decency.
Yes?
So why is this different?
Well, I guess I don't have an argument other than my conscience.
So you don't have an argument.
No, I don't have an argument.
Do you have a shovel?
Yes, I have a shovel.